Hello, this is a short video review of the Planet X RT58 alloy road bike. So I bought this bike at the end of May 2016 to replace my 2013 Cube Peloton Pro road bike. So for the benefit of people out with the UK, Planet X is a UK based, they're in Sheffield, UK based bike manufacturer, so they make their own range of bikes and they have their own range of accessories and clothing as well. What Planet X do with respect to bikes is they tend to manufacture their own frames, to my knowledge, and they fit third party components such as Shimano, SRAM, things like that. So one of the good things about Planet X, similar to Rebel, is that you can select a baseline for your bike and customize it to suit to your options. So the situation with me is I started cycling properly, I guess, in 2014, and throughout the course of 2014 I covered about 1,000 miles. That carried over to 2015, and over the course of 2015 I did about 1,500 miles, and at the start of 2016, well, in April 2016, I had intended to do a century ride, so I thought I would upgrade the Cube to a better bike, so to speak. So I took the Planet X, but sadly over the course of 2016, due to a number of other things, I've only been able to accomplish about 500 miles of cycling. Those numbers are fairly accurate as well, I'm afraid, because I use GPS on my bike, and as an analyst I'm quite keen to track the data. So yeah, I've had the bike since the start of May. I think it was delivered at the beginning of May, and I've done about 500 miles on it. So this short video review is just my thoughts on the bike in that period of time having it. So as I said, one of the good things about Planet X is you pick a baseline for the bike and you customize it to however you would like the bike to be in terms of its equipment. Now the good thing is that the bike that I had picked as a baseline was a fairly good spec already. So it's a full Shimano 105 bike, and that's the 5800, so the 5800 group set, and it's a full thing. So it's the front chain set, the rear derailleur, the brakes, the full lot is Shimano 105. Whereas I think some bikes you perhaps get the derailleurs, something like that. So this is a full Shimano 105. So I was quite happy with that, and the Campagnolo Kamzen, I think they pronounce it, wheel set, which is fine for me. It's a bit lighter than what I had on the Cube, so I was quite happy with that. It does come with fairly budget tyres, so you get Hutchison Naito tyres on the bike. You can pick which size you want, so I went for the 25mm ones, a little thicker than I had on the Cube. They were 23, but in the 500 miles that I've done on the bike, I can't fault the tyres at all. They've been okay for me. No punctures, no wear, excessive wear that I can notice, and I haven't slipped or fallen off in the wet, so that's all fine for now. So I did customise a couple of things, very minor things with the bike when I bought it. As I said, it was a fairly high spec already. So I picked the Planet X branded bar tape, which you'll probably see in the video or one of the photos there, and I picked a couple of Selkoff plastic bottle cages for the bottles that I tend to put in the bike. So everything there has been absolutely fine for me. One thing to mention about Planet X is that if you work for an employer who uses a cycle to work scheme, you can purchase your bike from them as well using that if you get a voucher. And the bike can be picked in black or blue. You've got a couple of colour options as well there. The saddle that comes with the bike as standard is quite stiff, it's firm, it has very little padding on it. For me, that's fine. I actually prefer a harder saddle. My recommendation to others is to go for the hardest saddle you can and adjust to that. On longer rides, I find it's more comfortable. It's a little uncomfortable to begin with, but I think as the miles pile on, you'll find it more comfortable, and I find it pretty comfortable now. Even if I go some weeks without riding the bike, it's fine. So to mention a couple of things that I've used with the bike, you might see in the photos there. I use a Jaguar cable, the rubber cable protectors, so that it doesn't scratch the frame. One of the really good things about my Cube when I got it was a white bike. It was nice, but the cables absolutely destroyed the frame where it was rubbing against. So I put the Jaguar things on the cables when I got the bike, and they cost less than £10 for the 3 or 4 that are required. I'm using a Toe Peak saddlebag, and that saddlebag is the medium one you can buy through Wiggle, and I keep everything in there. So I've got my lights that are in there, a multi-tool, a spare tube, and a CO2 gas canister. You can also maybe fit a wallet or something in there as well. It has the option to be extended if needs be. For cycling, I use a Garmin Edge 200. It's the entry level and basic model of the Garmin, which I don't believe they manufacture anymore, but it does the job for me. It's completely waterproof, so regardless of the weather, I can leave my phone at home if I wanted to and track the ride through that. And then to maintain the bike, I use a product called White Lightning Clean Ride. It's a waxy lube that you can put onto the chain. And I'd read a video review about that, or watched a video review and had read some reviews about it, and thought it was really good. Actually, you can, in fact, right now, if I go to the bike, even having done a short cycle this morning, if I grab my chain with my bare hand, it's pretty unlikely that I'm going to get some dirt on my hand. It's very good, and I highly recommend that. So going back to the bike itself, there's a couple of negative things, I guess, that I've picked up on that you might want to consider. The thing that annoys me the most about this, and I knew that when I purchased the bike, I knew about this, but I went ahead with the purchase anyway, is that the cables don't run through the tube, the top tube or the frame in any way. They're all externally mounted. Some people prefer that, I don't. So the bike in my home is mounted on the wall on a bracket, and the 2 touch points, unfortunately, with the bike are where the cables are on the top tube. So that's something that I'm not so keen on. I think that when I've had the bike a little bit longer, I might upgrade to a different frame and get one that the cables can run through the frame. The other thing to note about this bike is that it doesn't have any eyelets for mudguards or anything like that. So if you wanted to fit some screw on some mudguards, you won't have the option of doing it with this one. You might have to use some race blades or some other mudguards or attachments that I guess strap onto the frame in some shape or fashion. But yeah, that's really about it. The delivery was pretty quick. I think it took 4 days, maybe 5 days from the point of order to arriving at the house. The box it comes in is quite big, so the bike arrives pretty much fully built. I would say it's about 90% there. What you do have to do, if memory serves me right, is to fit the handlebars, and then tighten a couple of things up and adjust the saddle and stuff like that to the way that you want to go. And that's really about it. Overall, I've not had any issues with the bike. It seems to go well for me. If I'm being honest, after 500 miles, I think I do need to index the rear derailleur, which I'm going to do. But yeah, overall it's a good purchase, and I would recommend it. If you have any questions, please let me know. Thanks for watching.